In this episode, you will learn XLOOKUP, Google Sheets' newer and more powerful lookup function than VLOOKUP. I will show you why it's better by demonstrating bidirectional lookups, finding data to the left of your search column, and handling errors automatically without extra functions. You will see how XLOOKUP solves VLOOKUP's biggest limitations with cleaner, simpler formulas. If you want to upgrade your lookup skills, stick around. Hey there, this is a quick tech where we learn together one step at a time. In the previous episode, we've seen how VLOOKUP works. What we did is we were given a bunch of IDs, a limited set of show IDs, which we put it here, and we were asked to determine if they are movie type or TV show type by looking at this ID column and this type column. To accomplish that, what we did is we wrote a VLOOKUP formula where we searched each show ID in the appropriate column and returned the type. For the title, we also wrote another formula that looks up the ID in the same column and returns the title that corresponds to each show ID. Great. So this means if we were asked to return a bunch of other columns, we will be writing a lot of other formulas, though there are hacky ways to go around this. But it's not the best thing to do. The other limitations is we are essentially looking for show ID, and anything that we return should be to the right of our search column. If this show ID was, let's say, in column D here, we will not be able to return the movie type or the title. So it only looks to the right of where it is located. That's the limitation. Today, we're going to look at XLOOKUP that is supposed to solve these problems. Okay, so let me select a few of these columns and I will create a new sheet and I will paste it here. Let me call this one XLOOKUP and let's say this one is VLOOKUP. Perfect. In our XLOOKUP, let's say the customer or the client came with a bunch of titles instead of IDs and they are asking us to return the show ID, which we cannot do with VLOOKUP. So here, let me just take these examples to demonstrate. Let's say the customer gave us all these titles. Just note that each of these cells are formulas. They're not really a value. So whenever we copy paste, we need to be wary of that. So copy, I'll go back here. If I just paste, it will give me a reference error because it's trying to execute that function. So what we should do instead is go to paste special and value only. That should bring in our value. Let me put it a bit up here. Okay. So let's say the customer or the client came with these IDs and they're asking you, hey, what is the show ID? And let's say, what is the type? Let's start with that. Like we said, we can't use VLOOKUP. We're looking for title, which is here, and we're supposed to return what is to the left of this title, which VLOOKUP cannot do. So in this instance, we need to use XLOOKUP. So it starts the same way, equals XLOOKUP opening parentheses. And if you see this help text here, it says, what are you looking for? So search key. Obviously, we're looking for this cell, comma, and the lookup range. Where is the title located? Here. I'll just select it like this, comma, and now result range, which means what do you want me to return? We want you to return whatever is here. Okay. So the rest are optional as they are in a square bracket, so we can leave them. Close the parentheses and hit enter. And I will accept the suggestion. That's it. Now you were able to return what is to the left of the search column. And we could do the same, right, for this type. So we could say, look for this guy under this column and return this, and then hit enter and it shows. So if you had to return, let's say 10 columns, do you have to write 10 different formulas for each one of them? Hell no. So what we could do instead is, this is also where the power of XLOOKUP comes, is we can just modify this guy. We said look for G2, which is this one, in this range, okay, which is column C, and return whatever is in column A. Instead of saying return only A, we can actually extend that to B and say return. See? It also returned the B. So if I actually drag this down, it will automatically fill in the rest. So if you have to do, I don't know, more columns, you can just extend this here and it's supposed to do everything for you. It's returning 3 columns now. Okay, let's stick to our A and B column. Perfect. Great. The other useful thing about XLOOKUP is, let's say there is a title that is not found or that's not available in our dataset. Let's say it's called 24 Hours, which is a great TV show, by the way. I assume this is not here. Let's say they asked you to also give them the details of this. Let me just freeze the pen like this so that I look at it when I scroll down. Now, if I extend this formula, it looks up and it says, I did not find this. So instead of getting this generic NA error, we can actually tell it what to say if it's not found. So the way we do it is we add another comma, and if it's a missing value, what do you want to return? We want to return some characters maybe. So let's open and close double quotation mark, and let's say movie / show not found. Okay, a bit long, but it will be fine. So let's say we do down here, voila. So now it does this. So we were not able to do this automatically with VLOOKUP. Let's say if you have some ID that doesn't exist, I hope this doesn't exist. If I extend this, you will get the same generic error, but you can't add that if not available thing. But there is a workaround for this. You could introduce a new function called if error and wrap this in parentheses, and then if this one resulted in error, comma, what do you want to say? Movie / show not found. Now I have to fill in the formula for the rest and voila. So we could accomplish the same thing, but we ended up introducing another function which kind of is complicated. XLOOKUP handles that automatically. There you have it. That's how XLOOKUP works. If you find these tutorials helpful, please consider subscribing and liking the video. See you in the next one. Peace.